Before we jump into today's parlay, I wanted to let you guys know that we are still looking for people to join our NFL Survivor pool. We're about a third of the way there in terms of filling it, so I think we're right around 100 people. It's $10 to enter. We have up to 300 spots total available, so 200 left, guys. You can enter up to 5 times. If we fill this thing up, the winner's going to take home nearly $3 grand. If you don't know what a Survivor contest is, it's very, very simple. You pick one team each and every week in the NFL season, and if they win, you advance and move on. The catch is you can't pick the same team twice within the season. So if you use the Chiefs or if you use the, Bills, the minute you use them, you can't use them again. So you better think smartly about it. Check out the link down in the description as well as the pinned comment. Go sign up for the Survivor pool, guys. You have just under a week left. All right, we're back for another episode here, the parlay of the day on the Guy Boston Sports second channel. More Guy Boston Sports. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button and make sure you are subscribed. Appreciate all of the support on the second channel and on this new daily series that we are doing. Unfortunately, yesterday our parlay does not come through. We hit 3 of the 5 legs, which I guess is okay, right? We can't get too upset about it. I think we had, plus 430 or something like that on the line. We had hit 4 of the previous 5 nights. So even still, when you're taking these big plus money parlays, 4 of the last 6 nights is still all right. So I still have a little confidence here. Hopefully we can kind of reel things back in. But just to give you a layout or an explanation of what we do here on this show, if you are new, we go through all of the games. We have 15 games to dive into today. We go one by one and try and find some parlay pieces that we are liking within each of these games. We use a couple of our research tools. So yeah, very, very simple, very, very raw, not too much editing. So if you are ready, let's go ahead, buckle up. Let's dive into the first game that we're looking at here, which is St. Louis and Cincinnati. So this is a spot in which I'm having trouble finding anything that's really jumping out to me from a parlay perspective. I will say that I like the Reds today. Minus 147, maybe a little too risky in terms of building a 3, 4, 5 leg parlay, but that is going to be what we at least add in for now. Now, what we do, guys, is we build a bank of, a bunch of plays, and then we kind of whittle it down throughout the video to get to that 3, 4, 5 legs and to odds that we kind of agree with, right? So right now we're throwing the Reds in there. That does not mean that they'll be in there come the end of this video, but I do think that they avoid the sweep today. I think they have a starting pitching advantage with Brady Singer. Hopefully the sinker works for him. Even the slider, the top of the order isn't really the part of the order that crushes that slider, so his pitch mix should be okay against this squad. It's the only thing that I'm really considering in this game right now, but again, it might just be worth a straight play at minus 147. Let's go ahead and move on to San Diego and Minnesota. Kyle Hart's pitching for San Diego. Joe Ryan's pitching for Minnesota. This is another spot in which, the Padres are probably the side that I look at, right? Even though Kyle Hart hasn't necessarily been all that great, he's coming back up to make a start. He throws a lot of sliders. They don't hit the slider all that well, so that's obviously great, right? The fastball, the changeup should also be good pitches against the Twins. That being said, when we're looking for some way, somehow safe, I don't think that that's a good word to use, but a safe spot, do we really need to throw in a plus money play on the Padres within this parlay? I don't think so. And honestly, Joe Ryan is a guy that isn't necessarily the ultimate, fadeable type of a pitcher, right? So I think that we probably end up passing on something like this. This probably has some opportunity if you are looking to just get some action in on this game, but I don't think for a parlay, or at least the standards we're looking at for a parlay. And guys, after a loss yesterday, we are trying to be really stingy. For example, I think that the Red Sox do win. I don't think that they get swept here by the Pirates. They have Lucas Giolito on the mound. He's been pretty good. Mitch Keller, honestly, a guy that struggles against lefties. Duran, Roman Anthony, some of these lefties probably could get to him. That being said, I do see a way that this Padres offense potentially stays hot. They have been very good lately. Do I think that they stay hot? Probably not, but I'm not looking for probablys here, right? I want something that I have the utmost confidence in if we're throwing it into the parlay. So realistically, we can say, okay, you know what? I like the Red Sox today. We'll toss them in there. We'll keep them, in the unwhittled down block of wood or the unchiseled down stone piece. But I don't think either one of these spots are really tickling my fancy. So I hate to blow through these games, but I told you guys, it's going to be raw. You're going to get my real thoughts. I don't want to sit here and fake confidence for content. I don't like I don't want to say that I think the Red Sox definitely win this game. It is the side that I would look at, but we need to bounce back after a loss yesterday. So I want to take this seriously. All right, this is one that I do think that I have some confidence in. I haven't looked at the lines yet in terms of the alternates that we can get, but I am already rolling with the first 5 under and first 3 under personally. So I obviously have some confidence there, right? Brad Lord, Ian Seymour. In terms of what we have for first five, by the way, guys, this is scorepredicts.com. Scorepredicts, SCOREPREDIX.com. We have 2 free tools right now. We predict each and every game via our model, as well as a batter pitch mix rating. So you have every batter that's batting today and a pitch score out of 10. For example, if you wanted to see how, Roman Anthony matched up against his pitcher, we could type in Anthony, and you could see Anthony Volpe's there too, but Roman Anthony against Mitch Keller, 5.32 out of 10, that type of thing. But this prediction model thing is what I want to look at right now. We have this game for 4.7 runs in the first 5 and, 8.4 in the full game. Right now, we were looking at 8.5, so we don't mind the under, but I do like both of these pitchers. Brad Lord, I think, is pretty good. He's going to throw a lot of fastballs. I don't think this Tampa Bay offense is all that tremendous. So if we can get an alternate line here for a first 5 under, I think that we may be cooking with some gas here. So let's see. Under, if we go like under 6, maybe even under 6.5. I don't mind that. I don't think 7 runs come in the first 5, right? Now that's available, looks like, on FD and MGM was it. So it looks like we're probably pigeonholing ourselves into those 2 books today, but still, right now, FD, these 3 legs are plus 251, MGM plus 256. I think we're off to the races. Now, this is the first play that we've thrown in that I do think I really liked it. I think both these pitchers underratedly go out there and pitch fairly well. And let's throw in the fact that they're not going up against necessarily the best talents, right, in terms of the offense. So I like that spot. Let's move on. Milwaukee, Toronto. And I should mention, too, the reason I have the Reds and the Red Sox in there, even though I went on that whole rant about not loving them, is that we still want 3, 4, or 5 legs. So realistically, if I like them enough, they can sit in here. And then if we don't find anything on the rest of the slate, then fine. We'll have to roll with it. We'll take our chances, right? We'll do what this is meant to be, a little bit of gambling, right? But ultimately, we're looking for things to kind of bump them out. So I leave them in there because they are, I guess, qualifying enough in this dumb brain. Guys, it works for me. That's what we're rolling with, all right? Let's move on here. We got Milwaukee and Toronto. I would say 2 good pitchers on the mound, but again, you do have 2 really, really good offenses, and I don't want to fully sit here and trust an under based on these pitchers, especially with how much the bullpens have gone recently. So I think over is what I'd consider in this one. We are sitting at 8.5, though. What can we get for an alternate line? That's probably the only thing that kind of gets the juices flowing here. But even still, if this was 7.5, we can get it down to 5.5, like we did actually a couple days ago. I'd probably like it a little bit more, but even over 6 is minus 300 odds. This is probably, we'll toss it in there, but this is probably something that we replace pretty soon. Now, I'm curious what we can get in this game because we have Tanner Bybee, he's stunk. We have Bryce Miller, he has stunk lately. Is there a chance we can get like an alternate total that's pretty low? The problem is neither one of these offenses is all that like tremendous, right? But if we can get like a 5.5 for anything, I don't think so, as this sits at 8.5. 5.5 plus 366. Minus 366. Yeah, it's probably ultimately a pass. I would say Bybee at home's trustworthy to some degree just based on his season-long numbers, but realistically, he's been just dog you-know-what at home, and these offenses are both pretty volatile, so I do like the over. I like an alternate over, but I don't think that it's anything that I'm willing to put into a parlay here. Yeah, let's stick away from this one for now. Yeah, you can even see here, right? Look at, based on our model, we have it at 8.5 as a finish and 5 for a first 5. It's like pretty much nut on with the number, right? So I don't think that that's ultimately anything that we love. Sandy Alcantara going up against Kodai Senga. Both these teams have been scoring a lot of runs so far in their games. 3 games in, a lot of runs being scored. Don't mind a lot of runs today. What can we get here? I think that both Senga and Alcantara are good pitchers, but once we go to the bullpens, guys, look at, based on yesterday, a lot of arms went, so we could see runs galore late in this game. Both are on their favorable side in terms of seeing righties, so let's check this game out. If we can get a good line here, wow, I got the 7.5 earlier today. Now it's up at 8.5. Good closing line value there. Can we get 5.5 here? Minus 333. What is it on MGM? 375. Okay. We're going to toss this one in because I do like this spot, okay? I know we're paying a lot, but I do really like this spot. Let's see if we can bump something out that we don't really like here because it's not worth having all of these in. Let's go Reds, and you know what? Honestly, this Brewers Blue Jays is what I was going to say. The Brew Jays and the Brewers. The Brewers and the Blue Jays don't necessarily love that either. So here are the 3 that are still making it. Probably going to replace this Red Sox one at some point, but not exactly right now. It looks like FD now has the best odds there. Plus 169 for 3 legs that I do like. ain't the worst, right? We're not going for the $1 million parlay or anything like that. We're looking from anywhere plus 200 to like plus 500 is kind of like our sweet spot that's been working for us lately. And you'll notice we're taking a lot of money lines and totals. That's also been what's working for us. Now, what do we do in this one? Martin Perez on the mound going up against Luis Gil. Gil's numbers look like they're just terrible, right? But he has not been all that bad. He really hasn't. Martin Perez is kind of in a groove right now, but he's going up against the Yankees, who hit the cutter really, really well. He throws a ton of cutters. Maybe Yankees money line with Gil on the bump. Do we think that that's a spot to throw them in? But also, I mentioned this in my earlier video, guys. The Yankees have the Astros on deck, right? An AL rival in a sense. So I don't know if we necessarily love the idea of them. They've won 7 straight games. Are they going to sweep the White Sox? This would be a 4-game sweep. If they did, it does send the value seemingly through the roof having the Yankees in there. The problem is, I could also see the Yankees bullpen blowing it. They're taxed. So is this side of things. The total's way up there. What do we have from our projections? We have the Yankees winning this one 4.9 to 3.6. Ballpark Pal over here has the Yankees at, where are they at? The Yankees 5.3 to 4.4. Okay, I guess we can leave them in, but the sweep is kind of on my brain. I'm being completely honest right now. Like, yes, they're the way better team. Yes, I expect them to win. Yes, you even look at some of these, offensive numbers, and it looks like they're better, especially against lefties on the road. Oh, this is a tough one. We're going to leave it in there for now, though. We'll leave it in there for now, see if we can replace it with anything. All right, we're in the back-end version of the dashboard now because I always pick the best time to record these parlay videos right when we have a bunch of jobs running for this one. We have Skubal on the mound against Waka. I would say I look at a first 5-inning under, just kind of backing Skubal if we can get a crazy number here. And, yeah, crazy number, 5.5 for minus 350. Michael Waka is not someone that I'm looking to back. You can even see his numbers here against, where are we at? Numbers against the Tigers. Not ultimately enthralling. Okay, can we find this guy? Waka. There he is. Not the best, but the Tigers offense really hasn't been all that great. We do have Skubal on the other side. Are we getting a little too juiced to put an under 5.5 in here? We could probably yank out the Red Sox now. Okay. Yankees sticking in there. There's 4 legs under 5.5. Super juiced, but we have 2 super juiced ones. Yankees kind of holding down the fort. Again, I think this is because I think Skubal's going to pitch fairly well. And it looks like we do have some weather concerns in this one too, which probably helps this total going under, right? We have wind blowing in 9 miles an hour, but I thought I saw a chance of precipitation. Let's see that on this. Yeah, 60% chance of rain. In terms of the park factor, though, it looks like it's going to be, oh, that's yesterday's because the job's running, minus 4%. I think that under could be something we hold in there, but like the thing that would ultimately end us making us kick this one out is the fact that it's minus 350. Like that's not what we're looking for, right? That's a little bit too juicy, I'd say. Let's move on to the Astros and the Angels. All right, this is where the odds are a little dicey to me. I think that this will help our odds out, but why is Houston with Hunter Brown on the mound only like minus 150, right? Like minus 1, you can get the minus 168 right now on FD, which is the one that we'd be using in this parlay. They should be better in all facets, and they're coming off of a loss yesterday. Now, I don't think that they're going to absolutely tag Soriano. I do think that he's pretty good, and obviously Houston's bullpen is a little bit of a you-know-what show, so I get that. But that being said, this is still not a very good Angels offense. Hunter Brown's a really, really good pitcher, really, really good against both sides, and very good at home. I think the Astros are a spot that we can kind of slide in here. Now, we have 5 legs. Don't know if I'm fully loving that. And I almost think the Yankees are the team that gets the boot here. So 443 turns into plus 255 with no Yankees. That's still the best value we have. I don't even mind that if we just said, hey, let's stop it here, right? A bunch of alternate lines. I know that there's going to be the EV or the value police out there being like, this is not expected value or positive EV. I get that. But parlay should be fun anyways, you know what I mean? And this one seems like it's a decent spot. It looks like an all-night ride on Houston actually bouncing back because they're not playing the best baseball, but against the Angels in a bounce-back spot. Now, I mentioned the Yankees are looking ahead to the Astros. Maybe the Astros are doing the same, but they got to start winning some games if they really do want to protect that spot, right? Right now in the records, or I should say the standings here, you could see the Astros sitting at 75 and 61. You have a couple teams that are kind of breathing down their neck, right? You know, the Yankees 76 and 60, the Red Sox 75 and 62. If the Astros somehow were to fall out of this, which obviously that 3 games is a pretty big deal, right? Then they're looking at I should say this, the AL wildcard race, I don't think the Astros want to have any part of. That's probably the best way of putting this. So winning games should be very important to them right now. That's the best way of putting it. If they somehow, with the limited amount of games left, start to fall back and be in that race, that's going to be tough. They want to keep their position where they are right now. They don't want any part of that fight. So yeah, Astros money line. Let's keep it in there. If that burns us, it burns us. Cubs with Boyd on the mound against Tanner Gordon going up against the Rockies. The Cubs should probably be the spot, right? But also, it's Coors. Weird things happen. The Cubs have won now 2 straight in Coors. Minus 225, I don't necessarily see the value, so I don't think that this is going to be something that we absolutely love or get down. So let's just move on to this game. Baltimore and the Giants. Wow, this is another one where I'm kind of up in the air. I do think that the Giants could score some runs today. Sagano, I do believe, is due for a little regression. He had been really, really good for like 3 or 4 starts. Then the Red Sox kind of got to him. I think it was like 5 or 6 innings pitched, 4 earned, something like that. The Giants lost heavy yesterday. We had Baltimore on the money line. We'll take that. We didn't win too many spots yesterday. Verlander probably going to be okay with that slider here, right, against this Baltimore squad. I'd say Giants. Let's see what their team total at, like, what would their team total be? If we go 2.5 for yeah, if this was inside minus 300, I think I might consider it, but it's not inside minus 300. So let's keep the train going here. No need to waste any more time if we don't like these games. JT Ginn, Jacob deGrom. I would say it's clear cut who is the better pitcher here. It's going to be deGrom. Decent numbers on the road as well, though the fielding independent pitching is a little high. It's all right. But the odds are a little weird to me, and we know that this lineup has some pop in it. And I will say this, JT Ginn throws that sinker. That's the worst pitch for Texas. So I would say Texas wins this one. I think Texas scores some runs. They've been on a scorched earth pattern. They've won like 8 of their last 10. But at the same time, maybe Texas on the money line is just a straight bet. We don't need to involve them in a parlay. I think that's what I'm thinking. So let's move on here. Dodgers, Arizona. Yamamoto on the mound going up against Brandon Pfaadt. Now, Yamamoto has not been all that great, and this Dodgers team has struggled in this series. They're already down 2-0 to the Diamondbacks. That said, Dodgers, they really going to get swept by the Diamondbacks at home? I'd like to think not, much like we talked about with the Astros, like it's a bounce back spot for them. So can we toss Dodgers in here? 5 legs, 412 odds right now. MGM doesn't beat that. That's the only other one. I mean, oh man, this looks like a parlay that I'm ready to roll with, right? Under 6.5 in the first 5 there. Over 5.5 in this Marlins Mets. Honestly, that might be something, minus 350. That might be something that we can even remove. Let's see. Plus 298. You know what? This might be what we're looking at. 2 unders. Because that was my least favorite. 2 unders, and then 2 teams looking to bounce back. Plus 298. MGM has the exact same odds. All right, guys, this might be the parlay. We do have another game to look into, right? We have Atlanta, Philadelphia, but this might be what we're looking at. Under 6.5 in that Rays Nationals. Under 5.5 in the Tigers Royals. Remember the rain. And then we're looking at the Astros. It looks like everything is going to hinge on the Astros. Because they're like, you could literally take them and justify those odds today as a single play. And that's normally what I'm saying we don't do with the parlays, right? But that being said, you know, I do like the Astros. So yeah, let's just get to this last game here. We have game number 15, Waltrip against the Phillies. Do we have this loaded up here? Yeah, it's a better view of it on the site. I didn't even mention, guys, GuyBostonSports.com, members area, MLB dashboard. If you want access to our MLB dashboard each and every day, each and every game, visual format, you got everything you need. We also have our NFL dashboard, which I'll show you in a second. We'll load that one up in the background. Okay. Waltrip is a really good pitcher so far in the bigs, right? Like, he's been absolutely great. I think he's 4-0 with a 0.9 ERA this season. 0.9. He wasn't good last year. He had a couple starts. He also wasn't that great in the minors, so I feel like the Phillies pulled this one out today. But I'm willing to give this kid the benefit of the doubt and keep watching him and not necessarily just fade him right away. Almost like mentally fade him in the sense of, hey, let's keep an eye on him and let's have some scrutiny when we're judging him, because I do think that he's going to kind of fade off a little bit. Now, everything he's done, his body of work so far this year would counter that and say, no way, no shot, you know what I mean? But we shall see. So I don't think that there's much in this spot. By the way, this is the NFL dashboard. You can see how freaking awesome it is. So much in here. Lineups. We have offensive data. We have, this is going to be so good, guys. This is quarterbacks versus overall, right? This is last year's data versus zone, versus man, versus pressure, versus blitz, which is huge. We have down here how often those teams blitz, how often they play zone, man, all that. But anyways, stay on track here, Ev. Phillies would be what I look at, but I don't think it's going to beat anything here. 4 legs plus 298. We have the Rays and Nats under 6.5, first 5. Tigers, Royals under 5.5, first 5. Money line plays Astros and the Dodgers. I like this, plus 298 on both FanDuel and MGM. I think that's going to be what we roll with, guys. I kind of like it. So, yeah, this is going to be the spot. Again, it seems like, the Astros and the Dodgers is what this comes down to, because I really do like those unders. Now, I know we're probably going to look back tomorrow and be like, you like those? The unders, they scored 1,000,000 runs in the first 5. That would be tough. I totally get it. But ultimately, to me, this is a nice little parlay for nearly plus 300 odds. We'll monitor the odds. Maybe we can get some better ones. But guys, that's going to wrap it up. I want you to let me know down in the comments. First off, comment 20. Let me know down in the comments, are you enjoying this parlay series? Are you riding? Are you fading them? What are you doing? What should we do to make them a little bit better? I do really like the raw, just kind of going through the whole slate versus me having a parlay and just justifying the legs to you guys. I really like that sort of format here on the second channel. So that'd be a tough one if you're criticizing that. But let me know what you think of the series. Let me know what you think of, what we've been doing here on the second channel in the comments. Really do appreciate it. Catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.